The murder trial for white supremacist and neo-Nazi James Alex Fields Jr. is finally underway, after it took a little more than 3 days to seat a jury. Back on August 11th of 2017, Fields Jr. drove through the night for 500 miles from Maumee, Ohio to Charlottesville, Virginia, to participate in the August 12th Unite the Right rally, aka the White Supremacist Rally. According to Fields Jr.'s attorney, John Hill, his client was attracted to it. So much so that he traveled through the night, ate at a McDonald's in Charlottesville, then camped out in his car until the chaos, violence, and carnage began. Around 1:40 p.m. on August 12th, Fields Jr. drove his Dodge Challenger through a crowd of anti-racist counter-protesters, which resulted in the death of 32-year-old paralegal Heather Heyer and led to the injuries of scores of others. Fields Jr.'s attorney admits his client was the one that plowed down the crowd of innocent people, but claims his client was acting in self-defense. The prosecution's first witness of the day immediately debunked that defense, stating he saw Fields Jr.'s Dodge Challenger come to a rolling stop and sit still, idling. Then several moments later, he witnessed Fields back up. Then he heard the revving of an engine, and when he turned back around, Fields Jr. had plowed through the crowd of people. The witness said that prior to Fields Jr. plowing into the crowd, no one was near his car, and that there was no reason Fields Jr. couldn't have left the area of the downtown mall peacefully. The jury heard from a number of witnesses and victims in this case. The severity of some of their injuries were so extreme that aside from the murder charge, Fields Jr. faces 8 felony malicious wounding charges, 5 of which are aggravated malicious wounding. If convicted on the aggravated malicious wounding charges, he faces 20 years to life in prison on each count. For the 3 regular malicious wounding charges, he faces 5 to 20 years in prison on each count. For the charge of first-degree murder, Fields Jr. faces life in prison. And for the charge of failing to stop after an accident that resulted in death, Fields Jr. faces a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison. In essence, he is facing a maximum sentence of 5 life sentences plus 100 years in prison. Fields Jr. sat next to his attorneys expressionless. Every so often scanning the courtroom, he didn't appear to have any supporters in the packed courtroom, and the alt-right and white supremacist leaders have all but abandoned him. There were no ribbons like there were for white supremacist Jacob Goodwin at his trial. Disgraced white supremacist Jason Kessler didn't show up in front of the courthouse like he did during the Goodwin trial. Frank from the white nationalist radio show Stormfront wasn't there to show support like he was at the Goodwin trial. Marcus Martin, seen here with the red shoes, khaki shorts, and white tank top, is one of Fields Jr.'s victims. He testified that he was in attendance at the peaceful counter-protest with Heather Heyer and his fiancée. He said right before he was hit by Fields Jr., he pushed his fiancée out of the way, otherwise she would have been hit as well. When prosecutor Nina Elise Anthony asked Martin what kind of person Heather Heyer was, Martin said she was a great person, and then began to sob on the stand. Several other damaging pieces of evidence against Fields Jr. Back in May of 2017, Fields Jr. posted a meme similar to this on his Instagram account. Not once, but twice. 3 months later, he did just that, plowed his car through a crowd of peaceful protesters. Also, while Fields Jr. was driving from Maumee, Ohio to Charlottesville, his mother had texted him. The text said, "Be careful." Fields Jr. responded to his mother, "We're not the ones that need to be careful." The trial continues today and is expected to last another week and a half. We will continue to give our viewers updates on what is happening inside the courtroom throughout the remainder of the trial. And of course, we will have a final report at the conclusion of the trial. Then after this trial, Fields Jr. has to answer to a 30-count federal indictment. Now, prosecutors have not said yet whether or not they will seek it, but if convicted on the federal charge of bias-motivated interference with the federally protected activity resulting in death, Fields Jr. could get the death penalty. In Charlottesville, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.